but no one's talking but me. That's what we're doing here. Ain't the crazy guy. Hey, everyone. Hey, Amanda. Kat, Hannah, Hugo, Jennifer's iPhone, Destiny, Blake.
I still don't hear myself.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing myself too. Bex, that's a different name. I think this is the first time Bex is here.
Hello, Marisol, Hannah, Hugo, Jennifer,
Diva.
Is
Chad,
that
and there's
short
a couple
for
Chad and my goodness, my mind, my brain.
Amy?
Amy.
Right? Did we get it right?
Well, we don't know because Emily's not going over the thing.
Well, yeah, because
Chad and Amy, there you go. Hey guys, it was great seeing you last week. Really appreciate you coming down to the office and not being crazy. You know what I mean? We're still alive, everybody. Chad and Amy visited and we are still alive. They are not killers.
unbelievable.
No, they're not. They're actually very, very nice.
They're actually
people.
very nice people, yeah.
Joel, what's happening, my man?
Hey, everybody.
Wow.
I see Rebecca. I see a picture of Rebecca, right? Glasses
Yes,
on her
sir.
head.
Blake, Destiny, Bex. That's a different name. Bex I wonder if that's a nickname or a real name.
BEX.
BEX. Bex.
And then who's on the other page there?
Whoa.
Teresa,
Michael, Melissa,
Charlene,
Vanessa, Kat,
Lindsay, Destiny,
David,
Rebecca,
brother Mitch,
Melissa, Michael,
brother
Ronnie,
Mitch,
Victor.
Melissa L in Florida.
All right, guys, let's get this party
Yeah,
started, man.
I agree.
Ready to rock and roll. All right, guys, welcome to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting, man. We are honored that all of you guys show up to this meeting every week.
Yeah.
The Recover Out Loud, for us, it is a movement. It is not a program. So please continue doing what you do on a daily basis to stay clean and serene.
Yeah. Mentally fit.
Yep.
Yeah. Not easy.
No.
No.
And also, I just want to remind everybody, because for me, it's everything. The reason why the Hopeaholics podcast exists is because I lost my son-in-law on 9/11 of 2022 to the this crazy ass fentanyl epidemic. But without that tragedy, man, none of this would have happened. And I know he has his hand in everything that we do, and I'm truly grateful that you guys show up every week and support us and support this movement and support this community, and we can help each other grow and heal and get better on a daily basis.
Amen.
Yeah.
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 So who's ready? Who's ready for the speaker? Raise your hand if you're ready.
Yeah,
for
there
the
we
speaker.
go.
Look,
There we go.
People are raising their hand.
Everyone's ready.
All right.
Spotlight. The hands are already up. We got 4 or 5 hands. Look at
I think they're just raising their hand because they would rather hear our speaker than hear us.
Yes.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, yes, it is.
I
would-
Can you see her face there?
Oh, wait, you guys, before we start, just
Oh, yeah,
a
that's
little
right. There we go. There we go. Abandonment
housekeeping.
issues. If anyone has any abandonment issues,
dude.
Shut up,
Shut
Shane.
up, Shane. Yeah, how you like that now? Emily's gonna actually pin it in our chat, but we just wanted to let you know that we had our website is brand new, officially launched, and it's been an incredible response from you guys. And because you guys are literally thebomb.com, and we feel really close to the community that we build every single Tuesday, that we want you guys. Not only did we lower all of the prices for you all, as well as when you sign up for the newsletter, you also get a discount. So we're doing that for the next 30 days, and that's because you guys show up and show out. And so if you go to thehopeaholics.com/ROL, then you're in like Flynn, and then you get an extra little love off of any type of merch. That's all.
Also, subscribe to the newsletter because we got a lot of cool stuff that's going on that we're gonna continue to do. Across the United States. One event that I know that we're most likely going to be at is August 21st is Fentanyl Awareness Day and Prevention, which will be held in New York City in Times Square, and we plan on showing up. So hopefully we can see you all there. Anyways, I'd like to introduce our amazing speaker tonight.
yeah.
Yes.
Her name is Jessica.
There we go.
Jessica, you're up. You got about 20, 25 minutes. There will be a little clock up on the screen, and you'll hear a little ding when it goes off. You can take the whole time or however long you need.
Perfect. My name's Jessica. I'm an alcoholic. So I'm originally from Oklahoma. I was born and raised there. My earliest childhood memories were like these big family get-togethers and like big holiday events and like all of like the best times that I can remember. And when I was about 19 years old, my grandpa, he passed away. And when that happened, I guess it was like super traumatic. So like my family like fell apart and they all went in their own direction. And my parents, that's when their drug addiction started, and it kind of like spiraled out of control. And from the time I was like 10 until I was 14, I remember coming in after school, and I would have to check to make sure my parents were still breathing, or like dig food out of their mouth to make sure they didn't choke on it. And like I was taking care of my sister this entire time. And after about 4 years, we went to church one night, and my sister told somebody. And so then the cops got called, CPS came in, they took me and my sister away from my parents. My parents did everything that they needed to do to get us back. They had the case closed in about 9 months, but as soon as the case was closed, they were back at it again. And so when I got back home, that's kind of when I fell into my addiction. I started drinking alcohol and doing cocaine and sleeping with men for money. And I did that for about 4 years, just anything to escape, because like I felt like my parents, like they couldn't stop doing drugs. They didn't love me enough, you know, like, but I didn't understand addiction then like I do now. So I didn't care either. So I was just out there doing whatever I felt like doing. When I was 18, I met my oldest daughter's dad. I actually stopped doing drugs for a little while because I got pregnant and I had my daughter. But I was with him for about 4 or 5 years, and throughout that entire time, he was super abusive. Like, he moved me from Oklahoma to Florida. We were there for a few months, and I remember I was really homesick because I'd never been away from home for any amount of time. And I was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, I really want to go home." And he was like, "Oh, do you want to help you decide?" And I was like, "Yeah," you know, like I thought it was being genuine. And he picked me up by my throat and he slammed me on the bed, and he was like, "You're not going anywhere." So like for a couple weeks, I had to play like everything was okay, you know, and like just go along with whatever he had going on. And a couple weeks later, I was like, "Hey, I want to go visit my family." And so he bought me a round trip ticket, and I took my daughter, and I never went back. And I also had a man problem. So a couple months later, I was with my next kid's dad, and we were together for about 4 or 5 years. And at first, he kind of like pulled me away from my family. Like I lived 2 houses down from him, and I never seen him, because if I left the house, I was cheating on him or I was doing something. And so like I had to wait on him and his mom like hand and foot. And, you know, and I had my 3 kids because him and I had 2 kids together. And this went on for about 4 or 5 years. And then it got to the point where the abuse got really bad. Like he was forcing me to do things that like I shouldn't have to do. And I remember he like jumped on top of me and was holding me down, and like I had to like fight him off of me. And his mom was in the house and she heard all of this. And so she called the cops. And it just so happened over the weekend we did some cocaine. And so the cops were called the next day. CPS came in and they took my kids from me. And I stayed with them for a little while afterwards. I did the classes. They had me taking parenting classes, a domestic violence class, like all of these things. And I did it. And right around the time I completed, someone told me that if I stayed with him, that I wouldn't get my kids back because he was the one that like caused all the abuse. And so eventually I left him, and I had a job. I got a car by myself. I've been super codependent my entire life. I had a place to go, and my kids were coming and spending weekends with me. And I took the classes again. I was like, you know, I just want to prove to you that I want my kids home more than anything else. And so I took the classes again. And like I'd mentioned before, my mom, she was like, through her drug addiction, she was super abusive, and she like reminded me daily of how like I was stupid and I wasn't good enough and all these things. So then when I left home and I went with my oldest daughter's dad, it was the same type of love. And I was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. And then that led into my next relationship. And so it was a week before my kids were supposed to come home, and the caseworker came over and she told me, she was like, "I don't think you're ready." And like in that moment, I felt complete defeat, and I thought that like nothing I ever did was good enough, and I actually gave up and I stopped fighting. And that's when like my addiction like spiraled like extremely out of control. I started using meth, and then meth and heroin, and anything I can get my hands on. And I was in and out of jail. I received a letter terminating my parental rights, and 3 days after I got that letter, I found out I was pregnant with my 4th child. So I actually went through the adoption process with that one. So I was in my addiction for about 5 or 6 years. Like, it was super bad. I planned on coming to rehab 2 years before I actually made it out here, but I had this bright idea, and I was like, oh, if I start slamming dope, I was like, it's fine, I'm going to rehab, and I didn't come out for 2 more years. That was a bad idea. Eventually, I made it out here, and somebody flew me out here. They paid for my insurance, and so I was in detox, and after the first 30 days, I met this guy, and he was like, oh, come to my THC-friendly place, and I was like, okay, tell me more. And so I go and hang out with this guy, and then that's when I learned about like body brokering or whatever. And like, he was trying to get me, I ended up relapsing with him, and he was like, oh, just come over here to my center. He was like, and we'll get paid for it. And I was like, that's not right. So I ended up calling, and I literally had to beg for a bed. He was like, oh, I don't think you've had enough pain. Go back out there. And I was like, if you want me to jump in the same spot for 10 hours a day, I was like, I'll jump. And then I went back into treatment, and 30 days later, I relapsed again. And like, I was in and out of treatment for about 6 or 7 months. And the last time I went out, I called, and I was like, hey, I need somewhere to go. And they checked my insurance, and they're like, it's out. And like, my parents are back home using, my sister's in prison. Like, my entire family is a family full of addicts. So I was screwed. And like, in that moment, I had never felt more desperate. So I reached out to a woman I had met, or no, I had never met her. I just heard about her in like the rooms of AA, and I messaged her, and I was like, hey, you don't know me, but I need help. And so she ended up giving me numbers to like 3 different detoxes, and I called them every day for like a week. And they were like, we don't have a bed. And like, I was just about to give up. Like, and she was like, I got one more thing. And she gave me this number to a mental health hospital. And I called them, and they're like, we have a bed, come now. And so like, I managed to get over there, and I stayed there for 30 days. They set me up with like a housing appointment. And my time was up there, and I had 9 days before that housing appointment. So I reached out to this gentleman that I had met, like my 3rd try into sobriety, at this, what is it called? A sober event, Jackson from Stay Stopped. I was in contact with him this whole time. I lied to him and told him I had 7 months. And I called him, I was like, hey, my time is up here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And without hesitation, he sent me his address. He was like, come sleep on my couch. And so I stayed on his couch for 9 days. Like, he was actually the first one to give me my first Hope chip. I didn't understand it then, but later I did. So I stayed on his couch, and I get accepted into this program. It was an all-women's program. That was terrifying to me. I was trying to explain to Jackson. I was like, this is going to be horrible. Like, I was like, I don't want to do this, because I had the idea that all women were just as horrible as I was when I was getting loaded. And the only thing he had to say, he was like, oh, you're going to love it. He was like, this is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. And I was like, how dare you, Like, why would you say that to me? And I go and I'm under the impression that I'm going to be there for 30 days. And I get in, and like, I'm talking to my case manager, and she was like, so are you ready to do 120 days? And I was like, no, but I had no other choices. So I stayed. And that's when I actually started, like, because I would do bits and pieces of like the program. I would go to meetings, but I wasn't going to share. I'd get a sponsor, but I'd never call her, like all the things. So this last time I was like, none of what I was doing was working before. And like, I have no other choice, So I got a sponsor. I started working the steps. She told me every day, she was like, pray. I was like, for what? Like, I'm talking to nothing. There's nothing there, but I did it anyway, because she suggested that I do it. I had Post-it notes all over like my where I was staying and everything. And I remember I slacked off for a couple days, and because I was getting on my knees praying every morning. I go into the med office, I get my meds, and the tech was like, what's that on your back? And I was like, what are you talking about? And it was a Post-it that said pray. And I was like, oh, I need to go back, And so I was consistent with that. I worked my steps. When I got out of that 120-day program, I ended up going into the sober living. They actually helped me get into school for my KDAG, so that, like, I didn't think school was even in my cards. Like, my parents never talked about that. Like, money, we had no money. So when I enrolled in school, I was super nervous about it. I was like, oh, I'm too stupid to do any of this, So I did it anyway, and I ended up getting like a A on my first course. And like, I was like, oh man, like, I can probably do more than I give myself credit for. And so I get out, I'm doing school. I get my first job at 7 months in treatment. And like, I hadn't had a job in 7 years. As soon as I started using, I was like, this job is interfering with that. So I quit it, And so I'm working this job, and I've now been there for 2.5 years. I am a case manager. I'm assistant program manager. It's crazy. I was just tying this all together. Like, it's been 7 years since like I lost my license. I haven't had a car. I lost my children. My parents, they've been like, that's when they spiraled out into their addiction. January of this year, I got to see my 2 younger kids for the first time. Wow. And then I got to see him again in February, and then I got to spend Easter with him in April. My oldest daughter, I've been in communication with her just via FaceTime because she stays all the way in Florida, but I get to fly her out this June for a week. And like that was like one of the biggest reasons I stayed out for so long, is because like I thought I lost that opportunity. And I remember my oldest daughter was talking to me one time, and she was like, she felt safe enough to tell me these things and comfortable enough, so I had to give her that space, even though I did not want to hear that at that time. But she told me when she was in foster care, she was like, I tried to kill myself. Broke my heart. Like, it was absolutely, like, it was horrible. So I let her tell me. We talked for a little bit. I got off the phone. I broke down. And immediately I go into prayer. And as soon as I get done praying, like, the child that I gave up for adoption, we had this website where I get updates. And I remember, like, a year ago, I posted my number on there, and she had never reached out to me. And then, like, 15 minutes after I get done saying that prayer, I get a random text message from the woman, and she was like, I just wanted to thank you for picking me to be his mom. And I was like, whoa, you know? Like, every time something bad would happen, something better would come along. And it's like, I knew I was doing what I needed to be doing. My Aunt Pam, she was, like, the saint of the family. She never did drugs. She always showed up. She always was, like, loving and accepting of everybody. When I got 6 months, I found out that she had stage 4 cancer, and she refused all treatment. And that was like one of the things I thought would take me out, you know, between like something happening to my children or my family. And it happened quickly. She refused treatment. She ended up in the hospital, but I got to like talk to her on like FaceTime, and I got to tell her, she said because she had throat cancer before she stopped talking, the last thing she said was she told me she loved me. And if I was out using, I would not have got to be a part of that. And 11 days later, after she passed away, her oldest son died in a motorcycle accident. And like all of this stuff is like happening so early on in my sobriety that, but I was able to get through it. Like, I went to the meetings, I was doing all of the things that made me uncomfortable, and I actually got through it. So now, like, I am able to take those things and use them as like a motivator to keep moving forward. 63 days ago, my dad, he tried to take his life. Thank God it didn't work out. He actually, the next day, went into treatment. He went into detox, and this is my favorite part. He completed 60 days of inpatient, and he's doing amazing. Like, I never thought that my dad would be like sober and doing the thing. Like, I had a whole conversation with him the other day, and he was talking about, like, we were quoting AA back and forth, and I was like, this is amazing, because now he gets it. Because like, I was trying to talk about it before, but I knew that like I couldn't force anything on him. And so he's like, he's in love with going to meetings and doing all of the things. And my mom actually went today, and she went and got like a mental health assessment, and like all of these things are wrong with her. So like, everybody's moving in the right direction. And my dad is like, I never expected my oldest daughter to be a role model for, you know, who I want to be. And like, that's amazing. Like, my whole life, I guess the promises are coming, because like for every day for 2 years, I prayed that my mom and dad would find their way, you know? And I knew that, I mean, there's power in prayer. I've prayed for so much, and like, it's just always worked out for me. I am still dealing with legal stuff back home. The first time I went out there in August, I went out there because they had this warrant clearing event, and it was like I had a bondsman that would do the bonds half price. So like, each one was $500, so I had $250 for each county. And then I get there, I call the bondsman, and she was like, absolutely not, you need a lawyer. And I was like, oh crap, you know, I didn't come out there with enough money. And so she gives me these lawyers' numbers. I call the lawyers. The first one didn't answer. The second one, his name popped up in another case somewhere else. So I was like, I'm not calling him. And so I called the third one, and he was like, okay, I'll charge you for one of the counties. He's like, I'll do the other two for free. And I was like, okay. So, but I still didn't have the money. So like, I called the company that I work for, and I was like, can you help me? And they helped me out. And I ended up like 30 minutes, it fell apart. And within the next 30 minutes, it was all put back together better than I could have expected. And so I'm still dealing with legal stuff. I actually just got my driver's license like a month ago.
Nice.
Yeah. But I've managed to, I've had, made connections out here. I've went to work every day for 2.5 years. Like, I still managed to go to meetings and like do all of the things. And like, I feel like without sobriety and obviously my higher power, that's what I feel like I did different this time compared to every other time, is like, I actually started building that relationship. And when I thoroughly worked the steps on the 4th step, I realized I had a resentment. And through working through that resentment, you know, that's when I realized my higher power is God. And so one thing I did different prior to now, my longest time sober was 76 days. And, you know, on November 12th this year, I'll have 3 years. And like, that just blows my mind, you know. Yeah, I never imagined that my life would be what it is today. Like all of the things that like I would pray for or cry for while I was getting loaded. Like I have people who genuinely care about me and accept me for who I am. Like I don't have to like hold back or like filter myself, and they just accept me for all of it. And like I have a job that I keep moving up in, and like that's crazy. Like if they knew who I was then, they wouldn't let me work here, you know? But it just, I feel like everything that I wanted, like I have that in 10 times more, you know? Like my kids, I get a relationship with them. The woman with my 2 younger kids, she told me like, she's like, I want you to be in their life as much as you can. And that was, I never expected that either. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
like, that's just a testament of you doing the work and doing it. I always feel like anything kind of done half-assed, you don't get the results, right?
Oh,
And
for
so
sure.
It's the same thing in my personal program is the same. Like if I'm not doing what is suggested that my sponsor suggests,
For sure.
then I'm not going to reap the benefits. And ultimately the benefits is obviously like I can deal with myself because I'm stuck with me 24/7.
Right.
But hearing your story is absolutely beautiful. It's a testament of what the program's all about.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It was
Like-
for sure. It was really hard for me in the beginning because you know I had 3 children and I was a mother, and like I had to go in and these people were supposed to tell me what to do. I was like, no, thank you. You know, like I know what I'm doing here, and obviously not because I just kept ending right back in detox. So I had to take some suggestion from somewhere else.
Totally.
Our best thinking gets us there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just like to hear because some of the stuff that we all need to hear is like once we get clean, we start to clean up the wreckage of our past, you know, and then once we get through all of that, we continue to clean up the wreckage of our presence every single day of our lives, you know, and it's such a beautiful thing. I mean, it's so nice to hear these things, you know, the program that I attend the most, there's only one promise, and it's a freedom from active addiction, you know, and to me that's everything, you know, because with that comes everything else that has happened, all the blessings that has happened in my life, and it's been truly amazing. And it sounds to me like all of these beautiful things are happening in your life, and it's because you're doing the work, you know.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like congratulations on the 2.5 years, and congratulations on not giving up on yourself, because I think that I feel like all of us can relate on that level is we don't give ourselves enough credit. Like when we are able to put our minds to it and get out of our own way, all of us, because we all share the same exact thing, we are some bad motherfuckers and can get shit done.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But when we don't, we can destroy it and ruin ourselves and the people around us. And hearing your story is a true testament of you doing that and continuing to stay on it and stay the course and do the work and have faith. And even through like death and certain things, even hearing about your children, you know, I hear a lot of women in meetings that takes them out. And I understand in the sense of using it as a crutch or an excuse, but you didn't allow it to. You just kept on putting one foot in front of the other, doing what was suggested. And I loved the fact that like God does this to me as well, like little signs, the little post-it on your back.
Oh yeah.
Like that shit's funny to me.
Yeah.
You know, because
sure.
that's just like my God is like gangster and has a sense of humor. So
Yeah.
that's just a little him sprinkling like, hey, what's up? I'm right here. Don't forget. But I love it. It's amazing.
I was almost in tears a few times.
Yeah,
I
me
don't know
too.
why. You know,
It's
well, I
because
know
you can feel the
I
emotion
could
and the
feel
rawness
emotion.
and the
It was
realness.
crazy. It was crazy. Just
it
a
was a
part of
beautiful share.
feeling less than or stupid. You know what I mean? And then you proved yourself wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was there. I was that guy. And of mice and men, I was the big dumb guy. You know, that's what I felt like growing up. It's crazy, man. Great share. I'm really happy for you.
Like such a
Really
good
happy
share.
for you. It was amazing. Talk about breaking a generational shitstorm.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, you did that.
Yeah.
Like you fucking did that. You
And now
changed
look
your
at your
whole
dad.
life. You
I
changed
know.
you changed everything.
Yeah.
The
The
whole
power
trajectory.
you have is unbelievable. The
But
power.
That's why this program is so wild, because it's attraction rather than promotion.
Yeah, God.
Like, you're not, we all know that we can't lead a horse, or we can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's the same thing with, like, you're dealing with an addict or an alcoholic, and then eventually, hopefully, they see something like, yo, whoa,
Yeah.
you're, like, shining, and
Yeah.
you have this, like, aura and peace about yourself. What are you doing? And then that's usually how the conversation starts,
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing. I loved it. Awesome share. Awesome share.
I just want to. We have a direct message. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's just to us.
That's just us.
Hannah,
yeah.
if you
Send your phone number.
want to send your phone number, Shane will contact you
Yeah.
after the meeting.
Yeah, send your phone number right now, Hannah. We'll get a message to you tomorrow. Or I'll call you right now, like at 7:30, 7:15.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
sharing.
really
So
emotional.
good.
Yeah.
Really
So
emotional.
good.
Really great share. Had me up and down. It
I
was
love
crazy.
those. I love those, like, you feel it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, good for you. Damn.
incredible.
Let's open it up to the group. We already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands raised.
Damn, Joel, you first tonight? Okay.
Joel needs to share tonight, boy.
I like it.
What's happening?
First up.
Not a whole lot. How are y'all, everybody?
Fantastic.
Joel, grateful alcoholic and drug addict. So, a lot of let me start with this. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Chad, Natalie, and Shane, and Emily, too. You don't ever get enough credit.
Oh, you just made her night,
but-
Joel.
Well,
She's smiling.
but
She's smiling.
what I
There's
heard a
another
lot
right
of
there.
was resilience. We are some resilient motherfuckers. Like, if we can get fucked up, and if we can't, we're gonna figure out a way. But you were resilient. You had trial after tribulation, and back into treatment. Had what do they call them? Body bankers or whatever the hell
brokers.
they're called. Body brokering.
Brokers.
All of it. But you were resilient. You kept calling phone numbers. You reached out, and you kept doing the damn thing, even though that you were kind of had your back against the wall. And we're very resilient, and that's a lot of what I heard. I heard blessings, I heard hope, I heard gratitude, I heard the attraction versus promotion. I don't know if your pops, if that was a cry for help, and that's what led him into this program. But I am super happy to hear it, because if you weren't sober, you wouldn't be that face of sobriety for him. And you said, I think he's at like 60 fucking days. That's badass. Like,
crazy.
I'm so happy to hear that, and who would have thought? You led that horse to water and he drank, and it's like, fuck yes. It's never too late to do this, and as hopeless as we can be, if we just keep with it, blessings continue to come. The 9th step promises, they do come true. And I struggled with that in the very beginning. I'm like, fuck what you gotta say. You people that have been doing this, how long has AA been around? Nearly 100 years. Yeah, you guys don't know anything. I'm the smartest guy in the room. But once I started seeing that stuff, coming true, I was a lot more attracted. Well, I want what he has, so I got to do what he has to do, and that's why I work the program that I do. I don't have any sponsees. Sometimes I'm on the phone almost as much as what a sponsor would be, but I know that doesn't count. So I am looking for sponsees, or at least one to start with. It wouldn't hurt me to go back through the book and go back through the steps again. I've worked them myself. I've been through the book. I actually was looking for some reading material, and I've got other books, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull out the big book and just start with chapter 1. Why not? And it's good stuff. And I just want to thank you for your share. Thank you for your resiliency. Congratulations. You're coming up on 3 years. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
I love y'all. Have a great night.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joel. Joel plugs you guys at all of them. Oh, to see Joel's
Yeah,
Joel's the man.
wow.
Thanks for plugging us at all
Yeah.
the meetings, man.
I like that.
We have to show up at 3A.
Yeah,
I don't know
we
what's
do.
going on. I don't know why we need to do that this week. What? Oh, Matt. Sorry, Matt's up.
That's all right. Gentlemen,
Hi,
what's
Matt.
going on, guys? What's going on? What's up? What's up, Matt? Grateful recovering addict.
What are you wearing?
Um,
What are you wearing?
I don't know. What am I wearing?
Oh
What-
shit!
What am I
Oh
wearing?
shit!
What am I
Oh.
wearing? What am I wearing?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Shit, but good Jessica, good share, man, good story. I appreciate it. Definitely, definitely inspirational for sure. Um, and just to kind of build off that, man, with what she said, with what Joelle said, just I mean, like starting off with, my first couple of days in recovery, and my first few days out of treatment, and not really having the I don't know what you would want to call it, not really having the, like, really, the, I guess, the fire under me, really the thoughts of even kind of maybe possibly slipping back. Um, but just as time built a little bit, and just as more things came along, not even just like financial things or whatever else, just noticing, like, trust starting to come back from friends, and trust starting to come back from family, and just a clearer mind. Um, not having to cover up lies anymore. Um, not having to think about what I told somebody 3 weeks ago, and if I was able to keep that story up. Just all of that just combines, just makes recovery just fucking beautiful, man. It really does. Makes life amazing. Um, and a couple, you start to find real friends. Honestly, you start to find real friendship, and the people I thought were friends, they're gone. They're long gone.
Mhm.
There might be one or two still sticking around, and those are actual real friends. They were there for me through it all, and through my prison bid, through my time in a recovery center, and just watching me build day by day up, and a little bit past 2 years now, man, and I can't imagine ever going back. I'm not saying I'm not, susceptible to it, because once I'm above it, you know, that's when you can get bit. But I just really, really just really love life in recovery today, and it can definitely be done, man. It can definitely be done. You just gotta keep working, man. You gotta keep working. You just can't give up on yourself. Once you start giving up on yourself, and once you start thinking that, you know, that going back is okay, I mean, I don't know, it's just not worth it, man. I just don't want to see anybody give up on themselves, man. It's really not worth it at all. Just continue to build a life of love and trust and, you know, truth, really. That's all I got, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Vanessa, you want to send us your phone number?
Thanks for your share, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for your share, bro.
Jennifer.
Jennifer, this is where she turns her thing on. We get to see her. There we go.
There we go.
That's her standard play.
What's Jennifer's what do we call her?
Bombidity.
Bomb diggity.
Bombidity.
Jennifer Bomb diggity.
Bomb diggity. Yeah.
That's me. I'm back.
Hi.
Nice.
It's been a while. How's everyone?
Yeah, good.
Good. We missed you.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So honestly, I wasn't gonna come on, and then, I guess you guys have that tagging thing. I don't know if it's like on Matt Fever. You kept tagging me. I'm like, oh my god. And then I'm like, all right. So I kept exiting out, and then I was sitting and I'm like, all right. I'm sitting in silence. My TV's not even on. I'm going through like people's Instagram stories, and then I went back on one story, and then you guys came up live, and then she was sharing her story. I'm like, all right, she's not bad looking, and her voice sounds nice. Let me listen for like 2 minutes. And then she was doing a very good job. I'm like, wow, her story really relates to me.
Wow.
And everything. So I just listened, and I'm like, all right, let me get my laptop. Let me hop on Zoom. Let me actually share, because her story is really good. It relates to me. Everything you guys are talking about. Especially how we were just talking about how we half-assed it, because this was me the last 3 weeks, guys.
Half-assing it.
So, okay, so I didn't drink, but I did supplement with the other day on Friday with some like little drugs, some like marijuana, gummies, edibles. And let me tell you, I think I did a lot, and I think this was like a relapse. I have to go back to day one. Like this was worse than like alcohol. It felt like I was like it was a relapse. Like I went back into like my old mind of thinking like how much I used to drink and everything, and I just realized how much I hated drinking, but loved it at the same time. Like this last 2 days, I was craving alcohol so bad, and I didn't even call my sponsor. I like reached out to like 2 people. I still haven't called my sponsor. I keep saying I'm going to do it later and later. I don't know. I'm like so scared. I reached out to a few people I met this past few days when I was sober at the AA meetings, but I don't know. I just feel like that guilt and that shame. I was working the steps, reading the book, but I did like half-ass it. Not gonna lie, I would tell my AA sponsor like I'm going to meetings, but I really wasn't. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing virtual here and there. I wasn't. I'm like, oh, I can't go to your Tuesday night meetings because I'm doing an IOP virtual, even though I got kicked out of that one because there was like more like body dysmorphia and I wouldn't like follow their meal plan and stuff. It was like a whole thing. But anyways, so I got kicked out of that like 2 weeks ago, but I was lying. And then I mentioned, I don't know if you remember, guys, I mentioned dating. I fell in love apparently with this guy for 3 weeks. That's why I stopped coming to this meeting because I would hang out with him. I was in love with him. And then Friday night when I did my gummies or whatever I took, I thought he was a fake guy. Like everyone was planning this in the world to me. AA was planning this, that he was a robot. He's not real. He's like a convict trying to take all my money. And I called him and now we don't talk. He blocked me on everything. I'm convinced he's a robot. Like everyone planned this in AA. I was against AA, like everything. Wow, I sound very crazy right now, but this is my relapse, and I'm just saying, like, just because I didn't like do everything. I lied to everyone in AA. I'm still lying. I can't call my sponsor. I skipped meetings. I didn't do like 90. Friday would have been my 90 days sober. Oh my god. I'm joking. I feel like I'm going crazy right now. So sharing this out loud. Wow, no wonder everyone no wonder my parents thought I was going crazy.
This is awesome.
Oh my god. Okay, this is nuts. All right, I should really talk to a therapist.
This is awesome.
Oh my god, I forgot this is recorded too. Please don't send me to a mental hospital.
No, I mean I think the first
yeah.
step, and you should be proud of yourself because you're
Yeah.
open and honest with all of us. I mean that's the first thing is you admitting it out loud to all of us because we all get it. We've all been there. Relapse is a part of my story as well, so I totally understand all of the emotions that are going through your head, and if anything, give yourself some grace. You showed up tonight.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Thank
So-
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I just had that like guilty feelings.
Of
That I like,
course.
can't reach out. Like everyone's disappointed in me. Like I failed again.
No.
Yeah, and then we come along and we tag you and shit, and
I know. And then you keep. Yeah.
and then we
won't go
don't.
away.
They don't. We won't stop. We just keep tagging every
Yeah,
week.
Yeah. Now we want to see you next fucking Tuesday.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a guaranteed. We need.
we want to see you
otherwise,
next Tuesday, and we
We're gonna
want
start texting you.
to see you
Yeah.
with. Where would you be at?
I know, because I was so close of drinking this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
fuck that.
Forget it. You don't need it.
Just reach out. I saw a couple people put their phone number down on there that you could reach out to them.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll do. Yeah. Thank you.
It's not worth it, man. And I'll
Absolutely.
tell you something. As soon as this meeting's over, you got to call your sponsor. Just
Yeah, I
bite the
know.
bullet.
Yeah.
Call her, and say, "Hey, I fucked up." That's it, and she'll take it from there. That's
Yeah.
all you really have to say. And then you're going to
Yep.
be in her care, and that's God's care. You're going to be, and you have my word on that. She's not going to say, "Oh, Jesus Christ,
No.
what the fuck is your problem?" There's no
Yeah.
chance. And if she does, she's a bitch. Okay. All right.
And remember, guys, he's from Canada.
Yeah.
That is
Thank you.
that is your warning.
Yeah.
Chuck, what do you got to say about all this? Because I know you got something good to say about this right here.
Chuck Zemzow.
Zamzow.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, we're good. We're good. What am I going to say about it? I don't know yet. That was interesting. I know honesty is the best policy. Something I was taught early on, but how am I going to follow up after that one? All I know is that I got to live and let live, and then it's one day at a time, and easy does it. I had to be willing to go to any lengths to be free of the obsession. Self-doubt, because I wrote all this down today. self-doubt held me back. And then I was listening through the speaker there. I can completely relate. Self-doubt kept me in my tracks because I was afraid to read a book out loud to people, fumbling through and looking like an ass. Just doing something and looking bad, and then thinking that was a bad thing on my end. But today, I have no problem doing a 12 and 12 on Monday nights, read out of a book. If I screw up reading something, oh well. Keep going. I've had to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And God has been there all along, and I just had to surrender. And God speaks to me through other people, and I heard it tonight. God helped me out more than I could help myself. And but for the grace of God, there go I. And I heard this from my buddy yesterday, Ray. Time takes care of a lot of stuff. I heard him say that the other day. And I got to be careful of my ego edging God out. And if I'm feeling nuts, not using the steps, obviously, and I know one of my buddies will call me out on it. And half measures avail me nothing. I half-assed a lot of things in my life, but I don't have to do it today. And, I'm grateful that I woke up instead of coming to, and that's all I got.
Awesome, Chuck. Thanks, Chuck.
I thought I had heard everything, and I had never heard nuts before. Have you guys ever heard the nuts?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Not using the steps.
Not using the steps. You're nuts. No.
Oh, not using the steps.
I went right to nuts.
See, they hadn't heard it either.
God.
Chuck, you dropped some
Wait,
knowledge.
He dropped it a couple weeks ago, and I actually remember, wait, what was that? What little acronym did he use again? And now you brought it to my attention. Nuts.
I really
Not using the steps. I really like that.
Because if anybody,
it makes me nuts. When
it
I'm
does
not
make
using the steps.
It literally makes Natalie nuts. You guys have to know Natalie like off air. She's a little bit crazy.
Hey. I just. I try to keep it
I'm gonna
a
get
little
my
more
I'm gonna get my mic muted by Emily. Emily is Natalie's protector. If
Somebody has to be. It's 2 versus 1 all day, every day. So I get a little bit of help. You guys know I'm nuts. It's okay. We all share the same. We all got a little cuckoo in us. Don't lie to yourself.
Who are you talking
to? She's literally talking to herself right now. She was like having a conversation with herself right now. She was like, we all are. All 6 of us in my head.
Yeah. It's busy up in here, guys. It's very busy. Doing marathons. Mika, you're up.
Hi, everybody. So I just, I guess I have to bring up my SHITTY morning, that shitty morning with family court. I'm saying it like that and moving on from that statement because I'm not going to hold emotion to it. I already spent hours in the morning listening to lies virtually, and I had to be quiet, not unmute, judge that's a lie, judge that's a fucking lie. That's what I wanted to be doing. Yeah, I can't even touch on that because the emotion's right here. So I went to the gym about it. I put on some more weight today. Okay. I added weight. Okay. A PR. What is it called? I put some more weight on, and that's it. When I get mad, I'm going to add weight. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to put more heavy shit on there, and I'm going to lift it because that was the only way to get that anger out. It's the whole range of emotions. It's mine is first anger and outrage and injustice and then I'm just broken and hurt because my daughter, and it only breaks and hurts her, so that breaks and hurts me, and I can deal with the lies and the negative and all the whatever in the morning when I have to hear it. It's hard to hear, but it's only let me try to explain this. It's only difficult to take because I know it's trying to convince this judge of things that are untrue. Like it's malicious. It's like, you know, it's untrue. Obviously it's untrue. And that affects my daughter. People could say whatever they want about me. I've heard it all. But then now it's going to affect my daughter because it's lies, and it's going to affect, like, so right now, if everyone could pray for, you know, your little, when you have like a second, just pray for moms and their kids, because we do not give up. I do not fucking give up on my fucking kid, and that is never going to happen. And that's it. Aside from that, I realized, I wrote it down because I told Joel today, I was like, I'm going to write down the positives that came from that. Am I following through on my shit? Am I showing up? I am. I'm doing those things. If I can ask myself, did I do what I said I was going to do? And it's yes, that is what I stop with. And then I continue on with the rest of my day. You know, when we have things that we have to deal with in our life, you have to compartmentalize sometimes, and you have moments where you can like go through and deal with the actual raw emotions that happen. Go to the gym about it, whatever it is. Sometimes you have that ability, sometimes you don't. Luckily for me, my mom was here with me, like when I had the court thing going on. Like, she watched my son, it's his first birthday today. I said, can you hold him down for half an hour? And I like went to the gym. That is support. That is a godsend. That is just, I am so grateful for like having my mom, having that support. But I'm also so freaking grateful that I came to these rooms and have you guys, because going through court by myself for the last 3 years, like, yeah, I can handle it. Yeah, I can put up with it. But like having no support from this side, having no support on my side, on my recovery end, on my sobriety, on my doing right by myself and my kid and my life right now, I needed that support. I needed that like brotherhood, that resilience behind me that I know I have, but I also have it behind me too now. I got all of us. Like, we have each other. Like, and I needed that. I needed that little kick, that little like confidence, that little like, I'm still going to keep putting my foot in front of the other and taking baby steps, because there's still steps. And that's it. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
A lot of emotion.
Yeah.
It's nice. Wow.
I feel like on that one, Mika, like that's a huge growth in the sense of, yes, you're going through something that is such a struggle, and you didn't lash out, what all of the things that you wanted to do in your head and say, you didn't, and you were able to take a moment, take a breath, and then channel it into doing something that is useful, in the sense of going to the gym instead of causing extra destruction or extra chaos that eventually is going to have to get swept up and cleaned up. You didn't. You're going through the emotion. And that's also something I think is like a huge win, even though emotion is a lot of the things that we all used to try to numb. And now we're feeling an immense amount of emotions, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. And so it's really cool to see you being able to be in a situation this morning and then spin it like Joelle had you do, because this community is unbelievable, and then have you be able to then be grateful your mom is there. Then, you know, all of those other little things that we sometimes forget because we get so consumed with the nonsense. That is not saying that it's not going to bother us, but we don't have to react in a negative fashion that we used to do. So to me, I think I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through with the court system. I definitely will be praying for all my moms and dads tonight, because I couldn't imagine that. However, give yourself some grace, because you're clearly doing the work and hanging in there and putting one foot in front of the other, and that's a win.
Yeah, definitely a win. And I just wanted to kind of piggyback off of that, and you know, I've actually been in those situations and had people saying horrible things about me in the court, in the family court. And one of the things that I do today, because of the work that I've done in the program, is I pray for the knowledge of God's will for me and the power to carry that out, you know, and then I leave it up to Him, you know. I let go and let God, and it's in God's hands, and you know, whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen, and you know, we just keep doing the next indicated step, the next right thing, you know, and then we just keep moving forward. That's literally how the program works.
Well, and I love it. And you showed up tonight and you shared.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
And her mom was there. It takes a village to raise a child, and child grows up. It still takes a village. So everyone needs help. If you're hurting out there, reach out to the Hopeaholics. Instagram, we'll reach back out to you and we'll become friends.
Yes. Yes, sir. Who's next?
Tanner.
Has Tanner ever shared?
I don't think so. I know that name.
I have not.
See?
Welcome.
I'm Tanner, and I'm an addict. I don't know which is this, AA or NA?
Whatever you want, buddy.
All
right, cool. I'm all of it. Yeah, today I've been struggling. I don't know what the topic is. I'll just kind of share where I'm at. I've been struggling a little bit in my recovery with the, just trying to clean up the wreckage that I've done to my body. I found out yesterday that I got to get my gallbladder removed. And it was kind of unfortunate because, I'm 22 years old, man. I don't want to deal with that shit, but, I'm 2 years, 4 months and 9 days clean from fentanyl. I did that for 2 years and went straight to alcohol and started chasing the dragon with a bottle. And so that was it did a lot of damage to my body. But I thought, because I'm young, there's nothing that I could have possibly done to myself that would, affect me that bad. And, I'm dealing with a lot of pain right now and just, indigestion and it just feels like my stomach's eating itself, But, that was hard for me because, I've been putting in a lot of work this time around in my recovery. It's something I never did. That discipline is super important. That's something I never understood. In spite of how I feel, I continue to stay focused on what I want for my life. And that's, to stay clean at the very least. And, I'm on step 1 right now. I have 67 days clean today.
Nice.
And, I'm struggling with that acceptance. It's funny because I was talking to somebody earlier today and he told me to read 417 of the big book. And, I've read it before and then I read it again. And it's funny how whenever I reread things, I come to different realizations, and this time around I saw nothing happens in God's worlds by mistake. And that's what it said in 417. And it hit me, man. I was fuck, that's what acceptance is, just realizing everything kind of happens for a reason. And so I'm still struggling with that. I'm not going to just read a page and be like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Let's be sober for the rest of our lives. But, it's definitely helped me in my journey, just all these different things that I get the opportunity to learn, because that's something that not a lot of people get. Not a lot of people get to be in this program and get access to the literature and even sobriety. And so I'm just trying to remain grateful and keep myself present because I find myself throughout the day just going back and forth between I'm suicidal or I want to relapse or I'm grateful. And it's just this constant back and fucking forth, this emotional roller coaster every day. But I keep coming to the realization, I just have to stay in the program, stay in the solution, call people and hear from my predecessors and, take the next suggestion. But yeah, thank you guys for all that you do, man. Hearing your guys' podcast keeps me motivated on the daily, and I appreciate you guys for having this meeting. With that, I'll pass.
Wow,
awesome!
Love that. Thank you so
man.
much for showing up tonight. Yeah,
so much good, so much wisdom that you shared.
Young,
it is tough, man. It's tough, and we all fight that demon. Every single day. And I don't mean the demon of wanting to drink or use. I mean the demon that's in between our ears. And it tells us all kinds of bullshit, and that's why we have groups like this. We are the lucky ones though, man. We're like the chosen ones. We get this stuff. We get to have these meetings. We get to share with each other our wins, our losses, our hard times, our successes, and it's such a blessing, man. I do want to share really quick that Natalie and I have to sneak out in 4 minutes because our good friend is taking 23 years of continuous clean time downstairs in the NA meeting that is here in our building. So we're going to go down and support her. Shane is going to run
I'm scared leaving you guys.
Run the
with
meeting
Shane
out.
solo
Joel,
in the
if you
clothes,
need
but
to, just hit the hit the.
Yeah.
We got Emily on the mute button, and then we have a lovely lady behind us that's gonna punch Shane
What's
if
your name?
he does anything stupid.
Diana.
Diana's gonna
Diana.
punch. She's gonna
Diana.
punch him if he says anything stupid.
We're gonna bring Diana into one of your chairs.
All right, who's
All right.
next?
Kevin.
Thanks, Tanner. See you next Tuesday, bro.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin. I'm an addict and an alcoholic. And just to let you know, I got just right at 24 hours.
Nice.
And first thing I got to do is thank a young lady. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. But
Jessica.
right now, in 24 hours, I'm just right here in bed, going through emotional flashbacks. By the way, sorry, I got to be Debbie Downer like always, but I'm going to do my best to get through this. And I thank you guys very much. But does anybody know if there's a yournuts.com yet? Because I'm coining that motherfucker. Because that just brought me out of the abyss into a belly laugh like I haven't had in I don't know how long. All the characters and knuckleheads I know around the Bay Area that I've been in and out of recovery with, over the years. And I've never heard that. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm hurting, guys, and I gotta let you guys know, like at the VA, we gotta keep it PG, and because you can't have people talking about horror stories, setting other people off. You guys can understand that, but it's like I don't know. I gotta kind of ask you, like what's the rating system here? Are we PG? Are we R? Are we XXX?
All of it. I mean,
Shane's
So I know.
Shane's
Triple
triple
X.
X, and
Yeah.
now
I'm
Natalie's
PG-13.
PG-13, and I'm probably rated R.
so we cover all the bases.
Yeah,
Did you say the VA?
Right on.
he did say.
Yes, sir.
Good.
You did say the VA. So
I'm
you're
a veteran,
All
U.S.
Yeah.
Army veteran.
Yes,
Hit
sir.
up Shane. We got some help for
Yeah,
you, buddy.
We do.
We can hook you up.
Yeah, man.
Oh no, I talked to him about it.
Oh, you
I've been getting some of the best care anyone could ask for years. It's right at my fingertips. That's
yeah.
that's why I'm going through it so bad right now. Oh yeah, I was just in what I call, I don't know, you guys ever heard of emotional flashbacks, but it's best way to describe it is the feeling of jumping out of an airplane out of nowhere. You're sitting there and all of a sudden, whoa, an orgasm, jumping out of an airplane and smoking crack all at the same time. And I was in convulsions, and I thought about it a couple times. So right now, letting you guys know I'm recording this, and I'm sitting here, and it's, I thought about doing it to think about my daughter that I haven't seen in almost 6 years now. And, I've been sending stuff to her mother, and I haven't been arrested for harassment or anything yet, emailing her stuff. So that's a good sign. That's a good thing, I hope. But I haven't been able to get 90 days clean in the last 6 years to see my little angel. And it's killing me. And among other things that, before my time's up, you get to it. Are we almost up there? I got 8 seconds left. Oh, shit. Damn, that went quick. I never reach it to the end of shares. But Shane,
Yeah, man.
if you remember, you text me your email address, and I'll send you a copy. And I'm basically like,
Put your phone number. Put your phone number in the private message here, and I'm gonna text you.
I got you on speed dial.
Oh, we talked already.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Last week was my first meeting.
That's right. So yeah, text me, bro, and we'll get you going.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. I'm here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll send you a copy of it and email, and because it's pretty graphic, and I got a lot of stuff to talk about: sex, drugs, rock and roll, hip hop, and now country rock, and the world and racism and violence, and I haven't been able to really. I can't get that stuff out at the VA, and every therapist, in the Bay Area, and so I'm looking forward to kicking it with you guys on Tuesday nights at least.
Good. And then you could give me a call later tonight or tomorrow, bro.
All right, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Emily. Emily's treating me like a 10-year-old. She said, Victor's up. I said, thanks, Emily. I could see the fucking screen. Thanks, Emily. I don't read English. Hi, Victor. How are you? Sorry for Emily.
What's up, Shane?
Hey,
What's up, everybody? I'm glad to be here. Shout out to Kevin with the 24 hours.
Yeah, right.
And then just wanted to give a shout out to Mika for dealing with, I don't know if she's still on here, but I think I recognize her from another group that I go to, the shit show. So I just wanted to give her a shout out for, dealing with that situation positively. And then thanks to the speaker, that whole, thinking you're never enough. I think, that's come around a time or two. And, I had to just realize that the only reason I was thinking that was because I was just, destroying myself by using or drinking or, whatever it was at the time that it was. And, this past year, I've been like striving to achieve like a goal at work. And, by cleaning up my act, like everything just like came, I couldn't believe like the stuff that was happening. I got, qualified, as a crew boss. So now I can run basically like a hot shot crew, for like wildland firefighting. And then, got signed off like as a type 4 incident commander, and I mean, this was like, it was all big to me, right? But then like the biggest thing was like just fully being able to like be present with my family, because I never thought I was like doing that enough. I was always there, physically, but always numb with something. And now it's just been cool to be able to experience everything. Went to the mall a couple weeks ago, dress shopping with my wife and my daughter for formal dresses for my daughter. And it was cool just to hang out with them. I didn't know what I had gotten myself into, because it was dress shopping with the lady. So I had to like go scout out other stores, right? Because while they were in there looking at all the stuff, but I mean, didn't want to run off to the restroom to sneak something or anything like that. And it was just cool. It was just cool to fully experience that. I got a son. He's coming home from college next week. And it's cool when he calls me with some of his problems, and I'm not just like blowing up on him, telling him like how he fucked up. It's like, oh, well, lesson learned. He lost like a light or something for his camera, and he was all worried about it because it wasn't his. He had checked it out, and I tell him, well, at least you lost it and you didn't hawk it for to go cop. And he just laughed about it, so just really grateful to be here, and thank you guys for letting me talk for a while.
Nice. Thanks, Victor. Anything?
No, that's awesome.
No, it is. It's nice staying in gratitude. And it's tough, even for me. You know what I'm saying? Every day I've been like just saying grateful, even when I'm like, it's weird, but even like I was grateful for peeing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm getting that crazy this last few weeks. I've been getting, going through shit, like everybody, you're ups and down. And I've just been saying, thank you, God, for everything.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because it gives you a purpose.
Purpose, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
crazy. All right, we got Mitch. Last one. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on? There's my face.
There we go, baby. There we go.
Hopeaholics.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I always love being here. So, yeah, Mitch, recovering addict from drugs and alcohol, almost 3 years in July.
Nice.
So, first got on that, and it's still not have been easy, that's for sure. But yeah, overall, one of these days, I really want to come meet you guys in person. That would be so amazing, truly. Like I know you guys know my friends, Crystal Murphy.
Yeah. Yes. Love that family.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
you
know
come
them a
down
lot.
anytime,
Yeah.
bro. You come down anytime.
What'd you say?
You come down anytime, bro.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna make my way over there one of these days. If I can be on here one of these Tuesday nights, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Can I share one verse with y'all?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do it. So today was day 128, right? And it's all about faith. So Proverbs 3:3 says, "Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart." Right. So, just like the cross on my heart. So it's definitely one of those same reactions, right? So if we learn to accept a God who is greater and more powerful than the limits of our minds can grasp, we will begin to experience God more fully. Faith is not without reason, but it is always beyond reason. Ooh, come on now. Give it up a whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, so that was a blessing.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't tried one of those orange frosties at Wendy's, fire, y'all.
Fire.
So instead of the drink, come get some fuego, right?
Right.
So yeah. Thanks for letting me share. Love you guys
Mitch.
always,
Love you,
and
buddy.
hopefully
Take it
see you
easy,
guys
bro.
soon.
We got one more. Mika is back.
Wait, but what did? Oh, I'm so sorry. Go. I'm so sorry.
No. Go ahead, Mika.
Oh, I was just wondering what he said. God is not. I literally missed it. It was always something reason, but beyond reason.
You want to, unmute Mitch?
What was the first part? I missed the whole song.
What was the part? You were talking about.
It's always without reason, but always beyond reason. Is that what it was?
Yes. I'll read from this part. We will begin to experience God more fully. Faith is not without reason, but it is always beyond reason. Ooh. Got that?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
baby.
You,
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Mika.
I got it.
Welcome.
Okay.
Always.
7:09. I think we're going to wrap it up.
Awesome.
What do we do now, Emily? What's the next step? No, we're going to dance. We have to dance. So everyone raise their hand, and we're going to dance. Where's the music? Yeah, there we go. Now what's next, Emily? Say the prayer. What prayer is that?
The Serenity Prayer.
I caught Emily. I knew I was going to catch her. It's called the Serenity Prayer, Emily. Yeah, I got it. Oh, you got it? All right. All right, everyone ready? God,
grant me the
serenity
to accept the things I cannot change,
courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. All right. Okay, bye, everybody. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. We love you. That was perfect.